Please be seated. On Palm Sunday, we live almost an entire week of Jesus' life. We live his final days, from his triumphant entry into Jerusalem to his last moments with his disciples and to his death through crucifixion. The beginning of Holy Week, this holiest time for us as Christians, tells us almost the whole story of what happens over these next several days. In this particular week, we hear in the gospel a message of Jesus' humanity. We hear about how he entered Jerusalem with humility and in order to fulfill the scriptures. We hear how he says to his Father, "Take this cup from me." We hear how he cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" If there is one week of our Christian year in which we no doubt should understand that Jesus indeed understands what it is like to live in this world, it is this week. In this week, Jesus is betrayed. In this week, Jesus is fearful. In this week, Jesus perseveres and fulfills what he was sent to earth to do. As we begin this Holy Week, Palm Sunday is not only an invitation for us to walk the journey of Jesus' last days with his disciples together, to come together again on Maundy Thursday and then Good Friday before we gather next Sunday to celebrate his resurrection. But Palm Sunday is an invitation for us to examine and to remember the ways in which Jesus' final days may give us hope for our own lives. For we all know what it feels like to be afraid. We all know what it feels like to be weary. In her sermon last week, Penny named the weariness of the world and how heavy that can feel. We all know what it feels like to feel that heaviness of our own lives. And this week, through Jesus' example, we are reminded that even in those heaviest moments, we are not called to walk alone. Jesus gathers with his disciples, and so we gather with one another. Jesus invites his disciples to serve one another with love and humility, and that invitation extends to us as well. Because the reality of our human lives is that we live our own holy weeks all the time. We live all the time in a world that calls us to humility and that might crucify us for living the way of Jesus rather than the way of the world. So this week, as we journey with Jesus to Maundy Thursday and to the cross, may we, like Jesus, let go of our fear and turn it into courage. May we, like Jesus, let go of our weariness and turn it into strength. May we, like Jesus, let go of our sadness and turn it into joy as we remember not only these final days, but look forward to the celebration of that great and glorious promise that will be made known for us again next week. Amen.